In this last section of notes for 4.3, we are going to be converting a quadratic function from standard form to vertex form, and we're going to do that by completing the square. So I will color code my steps as always. The first thing we're going to want to do is add or subtract the constant term onto the y side. So that's this 11. So we will subtract 11 from both sides. So then we have y minus 11 equals 2x squared plus 8x. The next thing we're going to want to do is to divide by the coefficient of the x squared. So that's going to be the 2 that's in front of this x squared. Now when you do that, you're going to want to divide this term separately from this term, but then we're going to keep the whole left side all over 2 like that. So we're going to have a big wonkin fraction there. So we have y minus 11 all over 2 equals x squared plus 4x. Now comes the completing the square part. So remember that we always have had to find b divided by 2 squared, and that's what we add to both sides. That's called the number that completes the square. So we're going to look here at the 4 in front of the x. We're going to do 4 divided by 2, which is 2 squared. 2 squared is, of course, 4. This 4 is the number that we're going to add to both sides. So I will do plus 4 on this side and plus 4 on the left side. Then the next thing we're going to do is factor. But it's super easy factoring because we just have to use b divided by 2. That's the number that's in these parentheses. So we're actually just going to use this number 2 here to factor. Since it's a positive 2, it's going to factor to be x plus 2 squared. And then on the left side, we're still going to have everything that we had before, y minus 11 all over 2 plus 4. And then we're going to go back and we're going to undo all of the steps that we just did. So then we're going to undo step 3. Step 3 is the step where we added 4 to both sides. So now I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. So I have y minus 11 all over 2 equals x plus 2 squared minus 4. Then we are going to undo step 2. Step 2 is where we divided everything by 2. So now I'm going to multiply by 2. So multiply the left-hand side by 2. That's going to cancel off the 2. I need to multiply the parenthesis by 2, and I need to multiply this constant term by 2. So that's going to leave me with y minus 11 on the left side. On the right side, I'll have 2 times x plus 2 squared minus 8. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is undo step 1. Step 1 was where I subtracted 11 from both sides. So now I'm going to undo that by adding 11 to both sides. So I end up with y equals 2 times x plus 2 squared plus 3. And now our equation is in vertex form. So we've converted from standard form to vertex form. And then we have an easy way of graphing this parabola. To graph it, we look at the transformations. Remember that this was a shift left 2, this was a shift up 3, which puts our vertex now at -2, 3. And then we have a stretch out front, and that's going to affect our pattern. So we'll go over 1, up 2, over 2, up 8, over 3, up 18. On to the next type of problem. Now we need to find a function whose graph is a parabola when it has a vertex at 3, 4 and passes through the point 1, -8. So we're going to start by using vertex form. In vertex form, we have y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So in that vertex form, the hk is actually our vertex. Which we know is 3, 4. So we're going to use the vertex of 3, 4 there. And then we're going to use the point they gave us, 1, negative 8, for the x and the y. So I'm going to replace the x here and the y here with the ordered pair they gave us. And then that's only going to leave us with the letter a that we will solve for. So we're going to replace all those things. So we've got y, negative 8, equals a times x, which was 1, minus h, which is the x-coordinate of the vertex, squared, and then plus k, which is the y-coordinate of the vertex. So we plugged in all those values, and now we are going to solve for a. Follow the order of operations. So we're going to do 1 minus 3 first. So negative 8 equals a times negative 2 squared plus 4. Next thing will be squaring. So negative 8 equals a times 4 plus 4. So we have negative 8 equals 4a plus 4. Go ahead and subtract 4 from both sides. So negative 12 equals 4a, and then divide by 4. So a equals negative 3. Now that we have the stretch and reflection that goes out in front, we also know the vertex. We just are going to rewrite in vertex form. So we'll have y equals a, which was negative 3, times x minus h, which was 3, squared, plus k, which was 4. And then we're done. So y equals negative 3 times x minus 3 squared plus 4.